I saw a therapist when she died, a grief therapist, and she said to me, "Time will heal. You don't know it now."
Tom Jones, the legendary voice behind hits like It's Not Unusual and Delilah, has captivated millions with his powerful performances. However, his personal life tells a different story, one filled with drama, passion, and controversy. Let's dive into the tumultuous life of Tom Jones and uncover the man behind the music. From his estranged son living in homelessness, to his scandalous affairs with iconic stars like Priscilla Presley, to his heartbreak over the death of the real love of his life. And now Tom Jones's homeless and estranged son speaks out about their fractured relationship and learns why Tom Jones does not acknowledge him. Keep watching to find out all. But before delving into why Tom Jones does not acknowledge his homeless son, it's important to understand the factors that shaped Tom into the man he is today. Let's take a closer look at his journey to understand the person he has become. Background and early life. Tom Jones, born Thomas John Woodward on June 7, 1940, in Pontypridd, Wales, was destined for a life centered around music. His upbringing was humble, yet filled with the sounds of his father, Thomas Woodward, working in the mines, and his mother, Frida Jones, caring for the family at home. From a young age, Tom displayed a natural talent for singing, often entertaining at local gatherings and enthusiastically participating in school choirs. Well, I've always been singing since I was a little boy, you know. But I've been professional for about 4 years, I should imagine, Tom once reflected on his early beginnings in music. Despite his primarily English ancestry with a Welsh heritage mix, Tom's heart was drawn to music, particularly American blues, R&B, and rock, which he discovered through BBC radio broadcasts. These musical influences would later shape his own distinctive style. However, Tom faced personal challenges during his youth. He grappled with dyslexia and endured a battle with tuberculosis at the age of 12, spending 2 years recovering in bed. These trying times, spent confined at home, allowed him to deepen his connection to music and nurture his artistic talents, including drawing. Despite these setbacks, Tom persisted and found solace in his burgeoning musical abilities. As a teenager, he was more interested in embracing life's pleasures, such as socializing, enjoying drinks, and pursuing romantic interests, rather than academic pursuits. At 16, Tom made the bold decision to leave school behind to support himself. He took on various jobs, from laboring on construction sites to selling vacuum cleaners door to door, all the while honing his singing skills whenever possible. Little did Tom know at the time, these early struggles and experiences would pave the way for him to become one of the most iconic voices in the music industry, captivating audiences worldwide with his powerful vocals and charismatic stage presence. Breakthrough. Singing was more than just a pastime for Tom Jones. It was a lifelong calling. In 1963, he took a significant step toward his solo career by joining Tommy Scott and the Senators as their lead vocalist. This marked the beginning of his journey toward solo stardom, a path that would be marked by several managerial changes until he found his breakthrough with Gordon Mills. It was under Gordon Mills' guidance that Tom Jones finally struck gold. While his debut single in 1965, Chills and Fever, didn't make waves on the charts, it was his next release that catapulted him to international fame. It's Not Unusual, released in the same year, soared to the top of the charts in 13 countries, establishing Tom Jones as a global sensation. Following this monumental success, Tom Jones continued to deliver hit after hit. Songs like What's New Pussycat, penned by Burt Bacharach and Hal David, and Green, Green Grass of Home in 1966, kept him in the public eye on both sides of the Atlantic. His contribution to the James Bond film franchise with the theme song for Thunderball further solidified his status as a versatile and accomplished performer. In addition to his musical achievements, Tom Jones expanded his presence onto television screens with This Is Tom Jones, a popular variety show in the late 1960s. The show featured Tom Jones collaborating with a diverse array of musical guests, including icons like Janis Joplin, Aretha Franklin, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and fellow Welsh singer Shirley Bassey. The allure of Las Vegas beckoned next, where Tom Jones became a fixture on the renowned entertainment circuit. His performances in Vegas were legendary, commanding impressive earnings of $100,000 a week, showcasing his enduring popularity and magnetic stage presence. Later success. After taking a hiatus from recording during his early years in Las Vegas, Tom Jones made a triumphant return to the studio following the passing of his longtime producer, Gordon Mills. Guided by a new manager, his son Mark Woodward, Tom re-emerged onto the music scene. Though he had never truly faded from public consciousness, his popularity surged anew in the 1990s, capturing the hearts of a fresh generation who were captivated by his charismatic stage presence and famous hip-swiveling moves. During this period, Tom collaborated with a diverse array of artists, spanning genres from pop with the Cardigans to techno with Art of Noise, and even collaborating with Tori Amos, showcasing his versatility and enduring appeal. In recognition of his contributions to music, he was awarded an OBE in 1999 and earned his first Brit Award for Best Male Artist in 2000. Continuing his success into the 2000s, Sir Tom Jones maintained a rigorous performance schedule across the UK and globally, releasing new music that included notable covers like Islands in the Stream, featuring the cast of the popular TV series Gavin and Stacey. His achievements were further honored when he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in 2006, a proud moment for the Welsh-born musician. In 2010, Tom released the critically acclaimed album Praise and Blame, signaling a new direction in his musical style. 2 years later, he made a return to television as a judge on the UK version of the talent show The Voice, where his seasoned insights and vibrant personality endeared him to a new generation of aspiring artists. Tom's commitment to his craft remained steadfast in later years, evidenced by the release of his fourth cover album, Surrounded by Time, in 2021. He continued to tour the world in 2022 and 2023, delighting audiences with his timeless hits and captivating performances that spanned decades of musical history. Tom Jones' controversial love life. Welsh superstar Sir Tom Jones marked his 84th birthday recently, reflecting on life without his beloved Lady Linda. The singer endured the heartbreaking loss of Linda to lung cancer in 2015. Despite his well-documented history of extramarital affairs, Tom never contemplated leaving his first love. "I still love my wife," he shared with The Telegraph in 2012. "The longer you're married, it changes. It's no longer a sex thing. There's got to be more than that for it to last. We both came from a working-class background. We both came from the same place, so we're not like two foreign people having to explain to the other what their childhood was like. We grew up together. To walk away from that would be terrible." Here we delve into Sir Tom's intricate love life over the years, examining the poignant moment when his late wife discovered his indiscretions. Love of his life. Despite his reputation for womanizing, Sir Tom always affirmed that his wife of 59 years was the love of my life, stating he had never felt that way about anyone else. "I don't think you can fall in love more than once," he once reflected. Linda passed away from lung cancer in 2016 at the age of 75, a period Sir Tom described as the lowest part of my life. Their romance began at the tender age of 12, when Tom was diagnosed with tuberculosis and spent 2 years recovering at home. Linda, as Tom recounted in his 2015 autobiography, Over the Top and Back, would brighten his days with her smiles as she walked past their home in Treforest, South Glamorgan. By the time Tom turned 15, Linda agreed to go on their first date. Shortly after, Linda became pregnant, and the couple married soon after her 16th birthday at the Pontypridd Register Office in 1957. Throughout Tom's career, Linda chose to remain in the background. Initially, Tom's manager portrayed him as a 22-year-old single Welsh coal miner, concealing the fact that he was 24, married, and already a father to 7-year-old Mark. Although Tom had never worked in a coal mine himself, his father had been employed at the local colliery. It's unclear how much Linda knew about the extent of her husband's infidelities, but she did confront several of Tom's affairs, including his relationship with Miss World Marjorie Wallace. "I stood there and took it," Sir Tom recalled of Linda's reaction when photos surfaced of him with 19-year-old Marjorie on a Barbados beach in 1976. "She chinned me. I said, 'Go ahead.' She punched and shouted." Sir Tom hinted that the couple had reached an understanding by the late 1960s, when Linda stopped accompanying him on tour. "She doesn't ask," he remarked. After Linda became infertile following a miscarriage, their relationship faced further challenges, particularly when it was revealed that Tom had fathered a child with U.S. model Catherine Berkery in 1987. Linda initially returned to Wales but later reconciled with Tom in their Los Angeles home. For 2 decades, Tom denied being the father of his son Jonathan and blamed Catherine for what happened, stating, "I was tricked, really? I just fell for it." He eventually settled the paternity claim with a $50,000 out-of-court settlement. Tom and Linda relocated to Los Angeles in 1987, where they spent the majority of their married life. Despite being married for over 50 years, biographer Sean Smith noted that they likely only spent about 10 years together in close company. "Linda has her housekeeper and gardener and sees more of them than anyone else," Smith remarked. "She hasn't flown in years and is unlikely to return to the UK again. When Tom is in LA, they live like any other retired couple in their 70s, enjoying leisurely drives, reading in the sun, and watching TV." In later years, Sir Tom disclosed that Linda had battled depression for much of her life and had recently lost her vitality. He spoke about her struggles with emphysema and her use of a stair lift, hinting at her agoraphobia. Linda, who found solace in watching TV and sipping champagne, reportedly confided to a friend that she never felt good enough to be Tom's wife. Despite their unconventional lifestyle and period spent apart, Tom was devastated when Linda passed away. "I honestly didn't think I would get through it," Tom shared with The Observer magazine in 2021. "Now, every time I step on stage, Linda is with me. Before she died, she said, 'Don't think of me dying, think of me laughing.' That's how I remember her." Significant relationships. Sir Tom Jones addressed the omission of his affairs from his memoirs in a U.S. TV interview, stating, "I don't think it's important. It's not what has made me. It's not what got you there." His encounter with Miss World Marjorie Wallace began in 1973 when she was invited backstage at his London Palladium gig. Instantly captivated, Tom bought matching bracelets for Marjorie and his wife Linda, whose birthdays were close together. However, their relationship sparked controversy when they were photographed kissing on a Barbados beach in 1974, leading to Marjorie being stripped of her pageant crown. Tragedy struck soon after when her fiancé, racing driver Peter Revson, died in a crash during a practice run for the 1974 South African Grand Prix. Seeking solace, Marjorie turned to Tom, but their affair ended abruptly after they were spotted together by photographers at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Tom, fearing Linda's reaction, decided to break it off. "This one could really get to me," Tom confided to a friend about his fling with Marjorie, who later dated footballer George Best and tennis star Jimmy Connors. Reflecting on their relationship, Marjorie shared with the Sunday Mirror in 2012, "We stayed friends and we are often in touch. It is great to speak to him on the telephone once in a while. I always follow his career and I am really pleased he is going to be coaching up-and-coming singers. He has such a beautiful voice." Sir Tom Jones had a significant relationship with Mary Wilson, a member of the Supremes, spanning 2 years. Their affair began during Sir Tom's 1968 tour of the United States, causing suspicion from his wife Linda when Mary unexpectedly flew to the UK for a performance in Bournemouth. Caught off guard, Tom and his manager hurriedly whisked Mary out of his flat and attempted to erase any evidence of her presence, except for a meal she had prepared that remained in the oven. Linda, upon discovering the situation, famously warned Tom, "You'd better straighten it out, because you won't be able to do anything without your balls." Reflecting on her relationship with Tom, Mary Wilson candidly expressed, "I was in love with Tom Jones. I will say that. I cannot not say that, because it is very true. But you know, after a while I realized that he was a married man and that I needed not to be involved. That didn't stop me from caring for him at all, but he broke up the relationship and it was good that that happened. And for years I was like devastated because he was one of the loves of my life." Mary Wilson passed away in 2021. In addition to Mary Wilson, Sir Tom was linked romantically to TV host Charlotte Laws. Charlotte reminisced about her first encounter with Tom, recalling how she was swept off her feet after a concert in Florida in 1979. "I first saw Tom on TV when I was 9 and had a crush on him then," she admitted. "But I didn't meet him until I was invited backstage after a concert in Florida in 1979. Charlotte detailed Tom's approach, describing how he flirted from the stage before a member of his entourage extended an invitation to join him in his dressing room after the show. Their relationship, Charlotte revealed, was cloaked in secrecy and discretion. Tom preferred to keep his personal life away from public scrutiny, meeting Charlotte discreetly every few months while touring America, while Linda remained in Los Angeles. Despite their extramarital affair, Tom never spoke negatively about his wife. According to Charlotte, Linda was aware of their arrangement. "We did have a conversation about it the first night, and he indicated he had an open marriage," Charlotte disclosed. "He said it was more of a don't ask, don't tell relationship. Linda knew and chose not to make an issue of it. She wanted to stay married to him. That's basically what he told me." Charlotte also mentioned that Tom was surprisingly open about his romantic life, even confiding in his mother about his affairs. Mark, Tom's son and manager, played a significant role in their relationship, often arranging their meetings and taking an interest in Charlotte's possessions, particularly her collection of Mercedes cars. Charlotte and Tom shared a close bond, but Tom occasionally displayed possessiveness, fearing Charlotte might develop feelings for Mark. Despite this, Charlotte remained steadfast in her admiration for Tom and cherished their time together. Their relationship wasn't always kept secret. Charlotte recalled instances where they were openly acknowledged as a couple. Once, while entering a disco, Tom affirmed their relationship when asked by a stranger, showing a level of acceptance of their bond. Charlotte held on to cherished memories, including photographs and a receipt for a custom-made gold and diamond Welsh dragon ring she gifted Tom, which he wore proudly. Despite her deep affection for Tom, Charlotte acknowledged her own insecurities and the reality of their situation. Tom never misled her or promised to leave his wife, a truth Charlotte respected. Throughout their affair, Tom showed affection and care, pampering Charlotte with lingering massages and treating her like royalty. Their relationship came to an end after Charlotte confided in Tom's publicist about her stance on abortion, expressing her readiness to keep Tom's child if she became pregnant. Tom's decision to end their affair followed this revelation. Tom's connection with his idol Elvis Presley was a pivotal part of his life and career. Their first encounter in 1965 at the Paramount film stage marked the start of a profound and enduring friendship. "I was in Hollywood, and he was filming there, and he heard that I was there and asked could he meet me, and I thought, my God, Elvis," Tom recalled. Their bond deepened over their mutual passion for gospel music, a genre they both revered. Despite coming from different backgrounds, Elvis from the southern United States and Tom from Wales, they found common ground in their shared love for gospel music. According to Tom, Elvis saw himself primarily as a gospel singer influenced by the rich tradition of black gospel music in the southern United States. This shared musical passion led to late-night gospel singing sessions in Las Vegas, where Tom often listened in awe as Elvis showcased his extensive knowledge of gospel songs. Their bond strengthened over time, with Tom describing a sense of closeness and camaraderie between them. Their friendship went beyond professional admiration, including shared vacations such as a memorable trip to Hawaii in 1969. However, after Tom's wife passed away, rumors circulated about a possible romantic relationship between Tom and Elvis's ex-wife, Priscilla Presley. Tom promptly addressed these rumors, explaining that he and Priscilla were simply close friends. Despite enjoying dinners and sing-alongs together at mutual friend Jeff Franklin's house in Los Angeles, Tom stressed that their relationship was purely platonic. Nevertheless, doubts lingered among some, considering the history between Tom and Priscilla Presley. Elvis's well-known possessiveness and jealousy during their marriage were documented, with Priscilla recalling how Elvis made it clear she was exclusively his at Graceland. Despite ongoing speculation, Tom maintained that his bond with Priscilla was rooted in friendship and mutual respect, honoring their shared connection with Elvis Presley. Tom's romantic exploits continued to grab headlines, particularly with revelations from actress Cassandra Peterson, famously known as Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, who famously revealed she lost her virginity to the singer. The revelation of Peterson's encounter with Tom added another layer to the singer's reputation for romantic entanglements. However, it was not the only affair that brought significant consequences. In 1987, Tom had a brief romance with model Catherine Berkery, which resulted in the birth of a son. After a prolonged legal battle and DNA testing, a U.S. court confirmed in 1989 that Tom was indeed the boy's father. Initially denying the court's findings, Tom later admitted in 2008 that he was Jonathan Berkery's father. Despite this acknowledgement, he expressed no desire to meet his son, singer Jonathan Berkery. Tom's admission sparked controversy and criticism for his refusal to acknowledge his paternal responsibilities fully. Although he agreed to pay child support for Jonathan, he maintained that he felt manipulated by Catherine Berkery's actions, which he described as seduction. Tom's stance ignited debates about fatherhood and raised ethical questions about his moral obligations. Reflecting on the situation in 2008, Tom admitted that the circumstances surrounding Jonathan's birth were unexpected and not something he had planned or anticipated. In 2018, Jonathan Berkery, Tom's son, was spotted performing his father's songs on the streets of New Jersey, holding a cardboard sign that read, "I need money." Reports revealed Jonathan was living in a homeless shelter in Hoboken, New Jersey, and working part-time for a meager wage. Despite his hardships, Jonathan demonstrated a musical talent that reflected his father's genetic legacy. Jonathan's life has been marked by adversity, including periods of homelessness and struggles with substance abuse, which he acknowledged as ways to cope with feelings of abandonment. He expressed a deep longing to reconcile with his father before it was too late, recognizing the fleeting nature of life's opportunities. Meanwhile, Tom continues to be a charismatic figure in the public eye, with fans expressing enduring admiration and devotion. He humorously noted that some fans have even gone to the extreme of tattooing his name across their chests. Despite his ongoing popularity and openness to dating, Tom has stated that he has no intention of remarrying. In a 2017 interview, Tom reflected on aging, expressing a sentiment of acceptance. "You don't think about it as much," he remarked. He openly discussed his ongoing struggle to come to terms with the loss of his wife, Linda, emphasizing that he does not foresee marriage in his future. The profound connection he shared with Linda and the impact of her passing have profoundly influenced his views on relationships. Tom's autobiography, Over the Top and Back, released in 2015, offers a revealing glimpse into his life and career, chronicling his journey from humble beginnings in Wales to becoming a celebrated music icon. While the book provides insights, some reviewers have noted that it may not delve deeply enough into certain aspects of his life that readers might expect. Endless flings. Despite his deep affection for his wife, Sir Tom's numerous affairs are widely documented. He once admitted to having slept with as many as 250 women a year during the peak of his fame. Fans famously threw their underwear on stage to catch his attention, and Tom even maintained a second dressing room on tour known as the Workbench for encounters with groupies. In a peculiar revelation during a 2015 interview with The Big Issue, the singer humorously shared a personal hygiene practice, dipping his genitals in Listerine before sex to make everything down there sterile. "I say that mouthwash is not only for gargling," he quipped. The women included other musicians. The musician's infidelities became so notorious that his backstage area even had parts designated as the Workbench, where he took his groupies. Jones's lack of remorse over being a womanizer. In a 2015 interview with Big Issue, Tom Jones defended his history of adultery, downplaying its significance by asserting that the media focused more on his sexual relationships rather than on who he truly was. He criticized how the media sensationalized his affairs, suggesting that sex was a normal part of life and essential for human existence. Tom justified his actions by highlighting that despite his infidelities, his marriage remained strong, and his son continued to love him. He expressed no regrets, asserting, "I don't regret anything. Overall, no matter what happened, my marriage is still solid and my son still loves me. I haven't done anything bad in my life." Regarding the impact on his wife, Tom appeared unconcerned, claiming his actions had not harmed anyone and had not negatively affected his marriage. When asked by Sunday Times journalist Brian Appleyard if he regretted his serial unfaithfulness, Tom simply replied, "Nah." Apart from his intricate love life, Tom Jones also found himself involved in a feud with Engelbert Humperdinck. What exactly went down between Sir Tom and Engelbert? Sir Tom Jones skyrocketed to fame in the early 1960s when he made the move from South Wales to the USA. He was aided by his manager, Gordon Mills, who also took on other acts like Engelbert Humperdinck. Soon, the relationship between these stars faded. But what happened to cause the rupture? Sir Tom Jones was taken on by promoter Gordon Mills in 1963, telling the singer to change his name from Thomas Woodward to Tom Jones, to capitalize on the award-winning film of the same name. Gordon got Sir Tom a contract with Decca, and soon he was in the USA making millions, releasing the James Bond theme tune for Thunderball and becoming a sensation all over the country. Only a year after Sir Tom's first single broke into the top of the charts, Gordon had taken on another young talent, Arnold Jerry Dorsey, whose name was changed to Engelbert Humperdinck. Speaking to Express.co.uk, Tom Jones biographer Colin McFarlane described the way in which this name change came about as well. Colin said, "Gordon didn't only have Tom, but also Engelbert Humperdinck." Engelbert Humperdinck at that time was a guy called Arnold Massey. He had known Gordon for years and said, "Gordon, can you make me like Tom?" Gordon said, "Well, no, I can't. You've been around too much. I can't make you like Tom." But Gordon got drunk one night and looked at the records by his player, and there was an album by a guy called Engelbert Humperdinck, the classical composer. And he thought, fuck it, that's what we'll do. We'll call Arnold Massey Engelbert Humperdinck. And he phoned everybody round saying, "I've found this great new singer, Engelbert Humperdinck," and Arnold Massey could not even pronounce his own name for at least 3 weeks. When he first appeared, everyone said, "Who's this guy, Engelbert Humperdinck?" Of course, given the two men were fighting in the charts, this could have caused a rivalry, though working under the same manager could have also brought them closer together. However, Engelbert has referred to a silly grudge between himself and Sir Tom, which he hopes to bury. Speaking to the Sunday Mirror, he said, "One good thing to come out of this pandemic is that it's brought the world together. There's more kindness everywhere." In that context, A silly grudge seems so petty somehow. And I want to say that I'm sure Tom feels that too. I'd love it if we could finally mend that broken bridge. I certainly respect his talent. I think he's one of the greatest singers the world has known. I do admire him very much. Engelbert said he would embrace him warm if Sir Tom were to knock on the door, and tried to reach out in 2016 when Sir Tom's wife Linda died. He said, "It seems such a shame. It doesn't have to be like this. I was devastated when I heard she'd Linda passed. I sent my condolences to Tom. Sadly, he didn't respond." The genesis of their grudge came when Engelbert parted ways from their record label, Ma'am, which was launched by Gordon, Sir Tom, and Engelbert. Speaking to Metro, Sir Tom also addressed the feud, being asked if he and Engelbert could ever make amends. He replied, "No, it's as I say, once a kite, always a kite." The voice star Sir Tom Jones also has a secret feud with legendary crooner who refused to sing with him at Platinum Jubilee. Tom Jones was due to perform at the Platinum Jubilee concert, but dropped out because diva Shirley Bassey was being, well, a bit of a diva. The Goldfinger legend refused to share a stage with her fellow Welsh singer at the event in June, even though they were lined up to duet his song, Delilah. Ahead of ITV's The Voice returning tomorrow, Tom said, "She was going to be the surprise guest on my slot, and Shirley said, 'If I don't get my own spot, I'm not going to do it.'" If that didn't hurt enough, Tom is also enduring the discomfort of a dodgy hip, which he needs replacing immediately. But he has defied doctor's orders because he is going on a U.S. tour. Tom added, "I have the stick now and walk on stage. I am all right for 4 songs and then it starts to hurt. Then I sit on a stool and I do the rest from there and everybody loves it." Maybe Shirley heard about his new routine and didn't love it quite so much. And that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any suggestions for future videos. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay tuned.